If you were absent, then you'll have a quick review. But today, your science lesson, remember how science and math are kind of going together right now because we're learning in science how to measure matter, because it's very important in science and in research and in labs that you do frequently are having to measure matter, whether it's length measurements or volume, capacity measurements, or weight measurements. You have to measure things a lot. So when you're measuring, you're dealing with numbers. When you're dealing with numbers, you're dealing with math. So actually, our science lessons are in our math book right now, which is a little confusing, but it's why when you're doing these science lessons, when you're doing your homework for science, you're allowed to use the calculators, because I don't really care right now when you're doing your science lesson how well your math skills are. I just want you to be able to know how to do the problem scientifically rather than mathematically. Does that make sense? So use your calculator to make sure that you're getting the right answer. So you did 14-1, which was converting units of length. Meaning, if I gave you a length in inches, I wanted you to convert it maybe to feet or to yards. Or if I gave it to you in yards, maybe I wanted you to convert it to feet or miles. Back and forth between inches, feet, yards, miles, right? So how we did that was in 3 steps. The first step was to decide if you are going from a big measurement to a small measurement, you're going to multiply. If you're going from a small measurement to a big measurement, you're going to divide. Okay? So that was the first step. Decide if you're going to multiply or divide. The second step is to know what your special number is. And you memorize those special numbers. How many inches are in a foot? 12. How many inches are in a yard? 36. How many feet are in a yard?
3.
How many yards are in a mile?
1,760.
1,760. How many feet are in a mile?
5,280.
Okay. So those measurements, you have to have those memorized. That's the science part of it, that you need to have them memorized, because after you figure out if you're going to multiply or divide, what are you going to multiply or divide by? The special number between the two measurements. And then you just plug it into your calculator and figure it out. So this should be pretty easy as long as you've got those special numbers memorized and you can do this. You should be getting pretty decent grades on these assignments. If you didn't get a good grade on 14-1 today, go back and figure out why that is. Did you not do multiply or divide right? Or did you not know your special number? Or did you not use a calculator to figure it out? It's going to be one of those 3 things. So today, the good thing is if you did well yesterday, today will be easy. If you did not do well yesterday, it's also good because today you're going to be doing the same thing, so you get a second chance at it. You're not using length measurements anymore, though. You are going to convert measurements between capacity. Capacity is for liquids, right? How much it holds. So you're going to be using your gallon kingdom special numbers, right? So if you're using the gallon kingdom, you know that in the gallon kingdom, you have how many queens?
4.
4 queens. That means you have 4 quarts in a gallon. How many princes? Each queen has 2 princes. So that means 2 pints for each quart is another special number. Another special number that you have is how many cups are in each pint?
2.
Right, because each prince has 2 crowns. So if you can draw this or think of this in your head, you will know all your special numbers. You don't even need to memorize them. You just need to know this story. Each crown has how many opals, or each cup has how many ounces? 8. So there's all your special numbers. 4, 2, 2, and 8. That's everything you need to know to have all your special numbers to convert between capacity units. So in 14-2, that's our math lesson. That's really our science lesson for today. That's what your homework is going to be, page 239. Let's do one example to make sure that you know how to do it. So here we go. Bo, I'm going to have you walk us through this one since you were absent, just to see if you can pull us through this, just from what you remember, what we just taught. There are 3 steps. Bo, do you remember what the first step is?
He wasn't there for that part.
Yes, but we just talked about something to see if he can pull it out. Do you remember what we just said your first step is going to be to figure out?
What you need to multiply or add, or?
If you, yep, the operation. You're either going to do what, which 2 operations?
Multiply.
Or,
Divide.
yes. So first step is we got to figure out whether we're going to multiply or divide. So everybody think of it in your head, but Bo's gonna figure it out for us as a group. Well, we are going from ounces and we're changing them into cups. So is that going from a big measurement to a smaller one, or from a smaller measurement to a bigger?
Big to a small.
So you're saying ounce is big and you're changing it to a smaller measurement, which is a cup.
Yes, and that would be multiply.
Okay, so actually an ounce.
Divide.
An ounce then is smaller, Bo, I'm sorry. An ounce is smaller than a cup,
Okay.
right? How many ounces are in a cup? It's smaller. A cup holds 8 ounces.
Okay.
So you're going from a small measurement and you're changing it into a bigger measurement. So if you do that with your hands, you're going small to big. You do what? No, because you got to keep your hands going in the same direction. Small, big, divide. So your hands keep going. If they go big, small, keep going in the same direction, you crisscross them. Small to big, you divide them. So we're going from a smaller measurement to a bigger measurement. So we're going to, girls sit up. Okay, so you're not laying down. Thank you. Small to big, you're going to? Divide. Small, big, divide. Now, step number 2. Do you remember what step number 2 is, though, after you figure out the operation?
You do it?
That's step 3. But step number 2 is to figure out what the special number is. Bo, I know I'm hitting you with all this stuff and you're just learning it, so don't feel bad. I'm just trying to see if you can pull it out. But we figured out the operation. Now, what is the special number? Think of it in your brain, don't blurt it out. Between fluid ounces and cups. How many of one are in the other? How many ounces are in a cup? Or think back to your... Wow, I had this backwards the whole time. Sorry, people. Here, let me turn this way. That's the only way I can do it because I can't change it. Wow, well, all right, here we go. Let's do this now.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, Mia, sit. Okay. We'll try and pick up the last part of it. Okay. There we go. All right, so we are going from, just as a little recap, girls, we're going from fluid ounces, changing them to cups. We decided that fluid ounces are smaller and cups are bigger. So we're going from small to big. Small to big, we divide. You keep your hands going the same direction to figure it out. Small to big, divide. So we decided we're going to divide. What is our special number between fluid ounces and cups? Our gallon kingdom. In a gallon, there's 4 quarts. In each quart, there's 2 pints. In each pint, there's 2 cups. And within each cup, how many ounces are there? Remember, each crown has how many opals in it? Bo? 8. So here we go. We have now just figured out the operation and the special number. So our question is 48 divided by 8 is going to give us our answer. 48 divided by 8 equals what? You don't even need to know that because this is not math class right now. We're in science. So you could even get out a calculator and do 48 divided by 8 equals?
6. But it's obviously 6. Oh,
6.
yeah, it is 6.
So your answer is 48 fluid ounces is going to be equal to 6 cups. Okay? So that is, you're doing the same exact thing that you did yesterday with length measurements. Today you're going to do it with capacity measurements. And guess what? Tomorrow you're going to do it with weight measurements. So by the time we're done with 3 days of this, you should be able to knock out steps 1, 2, and 3, big to small, small to big, special number, figure it out with a calculator. You should be able to have a pretty good handle on it, all right? And then we're going to do a quiz on it. So, questions about this? Yes?
Are we going to do time?
We aren't, yes, let me think here. You are going to do time. IXL X1 is converting time with your special numbers from minutes to hours, or from hours to days, or from days to weeks, or weeks to months, or months to years. You are going to do that, but we're not going to take a whole nother lesson to do it. It's just on your IXL assignments. Okay, got it?
Yep.
So now what I need for you guys to do